If you've played any gigs, you know that sometimes things just go wrong and that's the way it happens. Before I jump into this story from the weekend, this is technically a review on some in-ear monitors from Xvive, which are the T9s. I wasn't paid for this review. I wasn't given any form of payment apart from these sent to me. So I'll never do a review on some products I don't like. If I receive them and don't like them, I will not review them because I don't want to put that out into the world, into my audience. Keeping that in mind, I've used the T9s in some videos and I wanted to do a full comprehensive review. And if you follow along, you know I'm not that guy that'll be like, oh, it's got these drivers and it's got this and this and all these features. If you want to read the features of the in-ear monitors, go click down in the description, everything's there. Also, thank you Xvive for the in-ear monitors, and here is how these saved me. So on the weekend, I had this gig, and I'm thinking, yep, I'm gonna take the in-ear monitors, I'm gonna use them in the band scenario again, which I've already done. I'm gonna use them, and then I can do a review and talk about how I use them, all the rest. Cool. Now, I'm spending a little bit of time with my family before I move up to Brisbane. Heaps of people know this. My father goes to me in the morning, hey, want me to come to you with that gig? And I said, dude, it's like a 10-hour drive. And he goes, no worries. So we hop in the car. We're up the Australian highway, and as we're going up, we're passing towns, we're stopping at petrol stations, and to be honest, I probably ate more chocolate than I should have, and I drank more soft drink than I should have. There's a picture of me and my father. Anyway, we arrived to the place where we're playing, and I'm thinking, yeah, we're probably going to be on the stage, maybe we're here, maybe we're there. Turns out, we're in this little bit of a corner of this bowling club, right? It's a country band. You play in some weird places sometimes. It's not all going to be festivals, and I prepared for that when I said yes to the band. By the way, my favorite gig so far has been like this kind of tavern-y thing. It was sick, dude. It was like a country night. So we arrive at the bowling club kind of environment, and there's sugar everywhere. There's a massive sugar mill, and we get inside, and the people there know me. The reason they know me is because that's where our band rehearses, at a bowling club. It means we get a nice space. We have adequate area to do what we got to do. Thumbs up. Great organization. Now I'm waiting for the rest of the band, and my dad's there, and I grab a drink of Coca-Cola, which I shouldn't have done. But I drink it, and then my boss arrives, the drummer arrives, and we set up. And we didn't have a sound check, we just got into playing. And as we're playing through the first set, I'm like, man, I haven't got the best hearing here. We've got foldbacks pointing towards us. But I made the mistake of not using my in-ears at the gig because I thought this venue was too small. I thought, yep, I don't need that because I'll be able to hear the foldbacks. I can save it for next time, that's fine. But during the second set, the sound was so bad, as everyone knows that does shows, people move around, it starts getting noisy and whatever, but it was so bad that my drummer, Paul, described it perfectly. It was almost like a slapback delay. So I had a foldback hitting me, speaker out the front, and there was another foldback on the other side addressing Paul, I think, but there was one near me. And it was like I could hear the sound, and I could feel Paul playing. However, what I could hear it made me feel out of time. It was awful. It was an awful experience. And I could hear Paul, and it's bang, 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 drums going, and I'm thinking, wow, I'm out of time. And I thought we sounded awful. So that was maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours into playing. And we took a quick break, and I said to Paul, blah, 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 pretty much what I just said to you. And Paul goes, yeah, yep. And he said it like a slapback delay. That's the perfect way to say it. So I was like, all right, I've got to do something here. And I thought, we moved around the monitors and the foldback, and we didn't get much results, and we had a little bit of feedback, which we should have done a sound check. We should have been a bit more professional, but hey, it's a bowling club. So these bad boys came into the rescue, and it's not even a joke. So what did I do? My morale was at zero completely, because I was like, we sound awful. And I asked my father, and he goes, oh, sounds fine to me. And I thought, nah. You know, because when you're a musician, you have these particular standards. I got these bad boys out, right? So they are the Xvive T9s. Fantastic, comfortable. And what's more important is sound good. I was using another brand. I shouldn't name them. I nearly did, but I won't. I was using another brand for quite a while. And the reason I thought, oh, it's a small venue, I won't use them. I was so used to the cheaper brand. And when I got these, I thought, oh yeah, well, it'll be a little bit of a change. It'll be a little bit better than what I'm using. These were unreal, dude. So what happened was I didn't go through the mixer because I thought, all right, I can hear the singer and guitarist, which is Brett, and I thought I can feel Paul. All I need to be able to do is hear myself better. So with these, I have used them through the mixer before, and they were fantastic. So I kind of, Never had it in a live environment though. So these went straight in through the 3.5mm jack into my dark glass anagram while I'm playing. And then it went to a wireless system that was supplied to me by Nuix. Shout out Nuix as well. And went like this, bang, in the ears, ran down my back. And as soon as we started playing on the third go around, so the third set, so maybe 3 hours deep after a break, I walked out the front into the crowd, because remember, this is wireless at this point, and I took one out, and we sounded fantastic. We sounded great. However, it was interesting, the psychology of being able to hear myself well, right? Being able to hear myself well because of these in-ear monitors saved my gig. I am not joking when I say that. And anyone that knows when I do reviews, if they were awful and someone asked, I would say that. I wouldn't even make a review. I would message the company and say, that product, I can't review it. I don't want to. We are done here. Xvive have outdone themselves in terms of value for money. I was expecting a little bit better. Fantastic. Now, because I had the foldback still pointed at me, I could feel Brett's vocals and I could just hear them. This was isolating the sound of me a lot, and I could feel Brett. I knew exactly where I was with the songs. I could hear the guitar faintly. That's all I need. I need to know I'm in time with Paul, the drummer. Now, I know that if I did not have these at the gig, my spirit would have tanked, the morale would have dipped on my end, and I would not have enjoyed the gig. I would have done my job, and I would have been a professional about it. However, what do we walk away with from this? And this, again, this is a review. I'm going to give my review now. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. People often say to me, you can't give a 10 out of 10. I've given 2 10 out of 10s in my entire reviews. 1, the dark glass anagram, 10 out of 10. The T9 In-Ears from Xvive, 10 out of 10. Value for money can't be, I can't improve it. They gave me numerous things in this packaging, not to mention this, which is very important. We're dealing with something delicate, and you don't want it broken before you go to a gig. So that's where I've been storing them. T9 have completely outdone themselves. I didn't tell them I was going to make a review in this fashion, and I would never do it in any other fashion. But I would be being dishonest if I didn't make the review in this way and I didn't address what happened. Because if I came on here and said, hey, get these in-ear monitors, I've used them and they have this and they have that, anyone can tell you that. Anyone can tell you that. I gave a real anecdotal situation where this was saved. I will rely on these. I do not think I will ever need an upgrade as long as these work fine, or I never tread on them because I'm clumsy. The gig continued. I was in a good mood. We got a few encores. People were up dancing, and I thought to myself, if I didn't have these, and I know if I took the other ones that are now upstairs in a box, garbage, right? My morale would have synced and I wouldn't have played as well as I did on that third set. 10 out of 10. I've used in-ears. I've used cheaper ones. I've played around with more expensive ones. 10 out of 10. Value for money. Go do it. Get a good wireless system as well. Xvive have outdone themselves. They previously sent me a wireless system. Outdone themselves with that. Fantastic. However, as a product in general, 10 out of 10. Also, thank you for the bowling club for having us. I'll see you in a couple of weeks. And also thank you to my boss for having me play bass for him. So my day was completely saved by some little in-ear monitors that I thought, I don't need them. I was wrong. That's the be all and end all of the story, is I was completely wrong about what I needed in a situation, and I was completely wrong for not doing a sound check. Otherwise, these would have been used from the very start of the gig. If you want bass lessons, I'm often booked out. Go into the description, go book a lesson. Go on my website, it's jackiet.com. Go grab a shirt, because I will wholeheartedly use that money back into keeping the website up and all the rest of it. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you've had any good experiences or bad experiences with in-ear monitors, or any questions regarding the T9s, please send them to me. Comment, like, subscribe, lessons down in the description. Love you all.